Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Hot Topics live stream. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to check the mic on my end to make sure it sounds good. It's been a minute. Push 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Push 1 if the mic sounds good. Y'all, I'm waiting on the ads. Okay, it sounds good on my end. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to jump into it because I got some new and old topics that I want to cover. I don't know how far we're going to get, but we'll see. Hey, everybody. Hey, thank you for joining me. Hello. Okay, and before we get into it, just an FYI, I do exclusive content for Neptunian members and patrons. So if you're interested in watching any of my exclusive videos, the links to join are in the description box. Also, if you like my content, be sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Hello, thank you for joining me. Hello. Okay, so I don't know what topic y'all want to start with. Should we start from newest to oldest? How should we do this? Because I know some of y'all are here because you want to hear about Druski. Other people, you want to know my opinion on EJ Johnson, but that's kind of old. That's a cold topic. Yeah, okay. So we'll start with Druski. Hey. Thank you for joining me. We'll start with Druski. And listen, I know I don't have a popular opinion on this, okay? But y'all know me, I'm gonna share it. And it is what it is. Some of y'all gonna be mad because I know y'all like Druski. And listen, let me say this. He's funny. I will say he's hit or miss, okay? And some of the skits I've seen from him are funny. I thought the preacher skit was funny. I definitely think the Erika Kirk skit is funny. He's very creative, So he's not, he's funny. I see him going far, right? However, I'm going to make a Druski prediction. Okay? I feel like Black women are making another Black man famous that you are later going to complain about. Okay? Y'all can get mad at me saying that. I think he's going to do something that is eventually going to piss y'all off. And, he kind of already did because y'all was talking about this and how he brought this OF corn star, Sky Bree, have no idea who she is, but he brought her to the Knicks game. And Black women were a little bit outraged by that. Didn't really hear too much after that. But it seems like, when he starts coming out with these skits and, he makes Black people laugh, Black women kind of forget, oh, he's mixed. Okay. Mixed race. Okay. That's fine. I know that Black women see him as a Black man. Okay. And I know that eventually he's going to do something to piss y'all off. And another thing is, I want to say this because the conservatives are extremely upset about his okay, somebody said he's not mixed. Okay. I don't know. He looks like a Black man to me, but it is possible that he's mixed race. I don't know. But here's what I'm saying, okay? The conservatives are mad at him for this Erika Kirk skit, which was funny. They said that Erika Kirk responded. I couldn't find any proof that she actually responded. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. I just feel like this. If the conservatives respond, right? Because the argument is, if a white person or a white conservative did blackface, there will be outrage, right? It's not the same weight, but whatever. But here's what I'm going to say. If white people do that in response to this, whether it be somebody on Erika's team or whatever, I don't think black women should jump in to defend Druski. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, right? Okay, so she did respond because when I looked on her X account, I didn't see the response. So I didn't know if somebody screenshotted that, made that up, AI. I didn't know what it was. But yeah, okay. So did she actually respond and say that if she did blackface, it would be a problem or she would be canceled or something? Okay, somebody said she did not respond. Okay, and that's why I didn't add that screenshot because I didn't know if it was real or not. Okay, but either way, okay, y'all said she responded on Instagram. Okay. Listen, here's what I'm saying. I didn't see where the conservatives have responded to this with any sort of blackface or whatever. But if that happens, or if they attack Druski, like say one of these white conservative men do a skit and they dress up as Druski or something, I'm just saying, if this were to happen, I don't want to see black women jumping to defend Druski. I think you should mind your business if and when that happens. And I'll just be honest with you, when I see Druski and I see what he's doing and I see black women kind of rallying behind him or whatever, I just think to myself, I'm like, oh Lord, this is probably going to be another black man who eventually is going to do something to piss black women off. And you're going to be outraged about it when you are currently helping him rise to the top. And so that's just what I want to warn you guys about. I'm not trying to like ruin your fun. It's comedy, whatever. It's okay to laugh. I'm human. I laugh too. When I saw the skit, I was like, this nigga's crazy. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, I laughed at it. I laughed at the preacher skit. It's funny, you know, but just don't be surprised if he does some sort of skit to either offend black women or he starts to ruffle feathers with black women. I can just see it coming. I just don't trust these dudes. I just don't trust them. And I'm looking at patterns at this point, and it's a pattern now. And so I'm just throwing it out there. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong about this. The prediction I'm making may not come true, but I'm just putting it out there just so you could think about it. And, I find this interesting too that he's with this OF star. It's like, as much as these niggas talk about ratchet black women, they love these ratchet non-black women, don't they? I just thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. OF modeled. Interesting. And I have seen a couple of Druski skits that were mocking black women, but I guess they just weren't anything that would make black women outraged. But I'm not going to be surprised if he does something in the future that pisses black women off. So just don't say that you weren't warned. Again, I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I'm not trying to yuck your yum or ruin your fun or whatever. I'm just throwing that out there. And if it so happens that my prediction comes through or comes true, I'm going to come back through and I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to be like, I told you so, because I just kind of see it happening. But as far as, the actual skit and him making conservatives mad, personally, as a black woman, I don't feel a need to chime in on this. This is just one of those things where it's like, just let people do their thing. I don't really feel like black women should be making any heavy commentary on this. I saw some black women on TikTok, already kind of jumping in to defend Druski against the conservatives. No, you let Druski hold his own nuts. You let Druski and his black male supporters defend him. This really isn't any of your business. Like, just sit back in the cut and, laugh at it, kiki, whatever. But I don't think that black women should really be commentating on this personally. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, put down the cape, burn the cape. And I think that this is just not a big deal to me, but I think that, when these kind of things happen, I think it's important to kind of like talk about them a little bit and talk about optics and how black women should or shouldn't respond. So that's all. That's all I really had to say about this. I mean, I don't really have too much to say. Mhm. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had on that. I'm not gonna drag it out. Y'all can be mad. I know some of you are mad about it because you like Druski. Like before I came on, somebody was like, I can't stop watching Druski. So, I just want to throw that out there. That's it. That's it. So let's move on to EJ Johnson. This is an older topic. I'm just now getting around to it. I just haven't had time, girl. I'll be busy. But he went viral for saying in an interview with Carlos King that he only attracts straight men and is only attracted to straight men. And in the interview, he was also comparing himself to women, saying how he doesn't, or how he, will go out in his dresses and he looks cuter than the girls, and, he's eating the girls up. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard somebody say that he came back through and said something about how he wasn't really talking about like women, he was talking about men, like other gay men. So I don't know, girl. But it's like, yeah, somebody said peak delusion. Yeah, this is almost one of those things. It's like, girl, I'm gonna just let you have it because you can't be this delusional. Like it's kind of too delusional to even take seriously. You know what I mean? It's like, because when I saw this, I was like, okay, I mean, I guess you gotta have confidence, right? But the one word I thought when I watched the clip from that interview was it was cope. I was like, oh, this is just pure cope. Like, that's what this is. The amount of cope coming from EJ was hilarious. Like, I just couldn't do anything but laugh. And I'm not sure if he's not trans, right? He's not trans, I don't think. But what he said is actually very common with trans women. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Miss Concrete Rose. Trans women say this all the time. Or males, who present as women. It makes them feel more womanly to identify the men who they sleep with or who they date or get involved with romantically or sexually with as straight when they're not. It makes them feel better to say that they're straight, and it makes them feel good about themselves to, I guess, feel like they're sleeping with the same men that straight women sleep with. Like, it gives them a ego boost, right? And I kept seeing the conversation about presentation come up, and that's what I want to talk about. Like, this was a very popular talking point, like on TikTok, of course, in the Black woman sector. Of course, he got a whole bunch of capes from Black women, but I did see a whole bunch of pushback from Black women too. So, the responses were mixed. But I saw a lot of Black women, particularly on TikTok, saying, oh, well, straight men are attracted to femininity, right? And that's what EJ was speaking to. Like that's like the whole argument, right? They're like, oh, because EJ is feminine presented. And then there was this whole thing, like, which I actually learned something because I have a good friend who's a gay, a Black male, and I knew, I mean, I guess because he's femme, but he's kind of masculine too. He's like what you would consider versatile. Like he goes back and forth. And so maybe I didn't know there was such an issue like in the Black gay, or I should say the gay male community, that a lot of, I guess, gay men don't want feminine men. Like most of them all want like masculine men and men who identify as straight, I guess. Like, I mean, I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know it was like as prevalent as it was. Like, I guess the femmes in the Black gay or in the gay community are getting shunned because they don't feel wanted or whatever. And so that was her argument. Like, well, it's the straight men or the straight identifying men who actually like us. No, those are not straight men, Buki. Those are gay men, and that's okay. That is okay. Right. But I saw women saying, oh, well, they're just attracted to femininity. And listen, here's what I want to say about that. I do agree that a straight man can be attracted to a male who passes for a biological woman. Okay. Y'all know me. I've said this before. I've admitted before. I've seen a trans man who I didn't know was trans. And I was like, oh, he's cute. I didn't know that motherfucker was trans, but he looked like a male, a natural born male. And so, yeah, initially if I see a trans man that's attractive, I'll be like, oh, he's cute. So I can understand the initial attraction, right? But the minute I choose to lay down with the trans man, baby, I'm not straight anymore. That's just what it is. You can call it gay, you can call it trans attracted, trans amorous. Exactly. There's an actual term for it. Right. And so it's okay. And that's what I'm saying. They like to label everything else. So it's like, why don't you want to say what it is? It's trans amorous. Like, that's what it is. And that's okay. Right. And it's like, we don't have to say that they're straight to make men, biological males or trans women or whatever, feel better about their sexuality. You know what I mean? But yeah, the initial attraction, look, if you don't know, you don't know. That's one thing. But EJ himself is not passing. He's not passing. You can definitely tell he's a male, he's a feminine male. And I don't think he's trans. So any man who deals with him is obviously gay, and that is okay. And whether or not he admits that to himself is irrelevant, right? And let's just say that a man didn't know that EJ was a man, right? And he thought he was a woman and he was attracted. Okay, that man is straight, right? If he just didn't know, which we know that's not a thing. But let's just feed into the delusion for a minute and say that he would know. Okay, but if he acts on that attraction and he sleeps with him, he's not straight. He is on the LGBT spectrum. Okay, and this applies to men who knowingly sleep with trans women as well. And what really proves this, the whole trans amorous thing, what really proves that this is actually a thing is that most men, and this is what I learned from trans women themselves, most men who deal with trans women don't even want to deal with them if they've had a sex change. They don't even want to deal with the post-op trans girls like that because they want to deal with the trans women who still have a penis. So if that's what they want to deal with, right, okay, so they're not straight. Okay, if you're sleeping with a person who has a penis and you have one too, you're not straight. Yeah, exactly. So being that that's something that they require, that means they're not straight. It does not really matter how they identify. You can identify however you want. But if you have a penis and you like having sex with someone who has a penis, you're going to be perceived as gay or trans amorous or queer or whatever, and rightfully so. Just like if you have a vagina and you have sex with somebody who has a vagina, you're not straight. Okay? You are on the LGBT spectrum. And I saw, the trans women especially arguing about, oh, we can't tell straight men how to identify. And to me, that's just more cope. It's more cope. Because again, they want to feel more like biological women. But either way, if you say we can't control how people identify themselves, then you also can't control how we identify other people. Most people are never going to identify men who sleep with males or date males as straight. I don't care how many women they sleep with. I don't care if they have a wife or a baby mama. They're not straight. And my thing is, y'all, it is 2026. Men need to live in their truth. If they like dick, they like dick. And I know some of these DL men are afraid that women won't like them if they're gay, but that's life. If a woman doesn't like you because you're gay, find a woman that does. It's 2026. You can find that. Not every woman has to like you or prefer you. And I've said this before. If men are allowed to have all these preferences, so are women. If trans women and gay men like EJ are allowed to prefer masculine men, if they're allowed to put on their profiles, no fats, no femmes, women are allowed to have a preference. We don't have to want to date everybody. Sorry, not sorry. Have y'all noticed that everybody can have a preference but women, and especially Black women? Everybody can have their preference but us. They can prefer light-skinned women. They can prefer no fats, no femmes. Okay? They can prefer DL men, trade. They They can prefer any fucking thing they want. But when it comes to a Black woman, we got to be open to everything. No, we don't. No, we do not. And so if living your truth, and if a woman does not like you because you're gay, or if she doesn't want to date you because you like dick, move on to someone who will. You can't force that woman to like something that she does not like. Get over it. And again, it's 2026. There are women out there who will date a bisexual man. Go find those women. People nowadays are more fluid than ever. So to me, it's silly to try to make these queer men straight when they're not, and to try to force straight women to want to date them. It's okay for straight women to want straight men. It's okay. Oh, yeah. And I've talked about that before. The colorism in the gay male community. Oh, yeah. No fats, no femmes. And they love light-skinned curly hair men with green eyes. They love that. Look what the whole thing that just happened with Jules Smith. Yeah, so they love that too. So they have their preferences like everybody else. And I think the other piece of this conversation is the very clear competition that trans women or trans like men like EJ are in with women. And I think that that's something that women should not ignore. EJ comparing himself to women unprovoked and out of nowhere, it proves that he sees us as competition. And I've been saying this about them for years. And obviously this doesn't apply to all of them. Some of them are cool, but it's a good I would say it was the majority in my opinion, because in every space, every time this topic comes up, you cannot read a comment section without seeing how competitive they are with women. So it's very apparent, and they try to make it seem like, it's biological women who are competitive with them, and it's just us, like it's one-sided. No. And I would argue that it's more competitive on their side, and because they talk so much shit about women, like now women are starting to pay attention to it, and we're like, no, this has gone too far. And we just now recently started saying something about it. But they're in competition with us for the same men. And so they're very comparative when it comes to women. And, Black women especially have been very supportive of trans women and will attack other Black women on their behalf. But lately, Black women been like, we not tolerating that no more. And I'm proud of y'all, because when I first came on and I started talking about it, people still call me transphobic, which I really don't give a fuck, because I've realized that in order to remain self first as a biological Black woman, and to actually tell the truth about how trans women especially, and how males in the LGBT community disrespect women and treat women, you're going to be called transphobic. You're going to be called some type of phobic, because you can't be honest about that without being called that. And so if that's the case, then oh well, you're just going to have to call me that. You're just going to have to label me that, because I'm not going to lie about them or ignore what they do for the sake of not, wanting to be called that. I don't care. You can label me that. Oh well, because I'm going to always stick up for who I am. I'm going to always put my womanhood first, just like they do. They put their transness before anything, including Black women. And I did a video, a live stream for members and patrons, and you can go watch it, but I'll mention a little bit of it here. But when T.S. Madison and those panel of trans women were defending when that man who was posing as trans went into that gym and was flashing those women in there, they actually defended that. They actually said that trans women who don't look like trans women, because they're at the beginning of their transition, and so they shouldn't be judged, can actually go into women's spaces and do what the fuck they want to do. So they put their transness before anything, even before our safety as women. And so if they're doing that, I'm going to speak up about it. I don't give a fuck. You can label me transphobe. I don't care. You can label me a TERF, whatever. No, we're not standing for that. No. Yeah, they if it means, they're gonna be, I guess the argument is that they should be able to be clockable and be quote unquote bricky and look like a whole man without any transitioning and still be considered trans because they say so. And we just have to believe them, and we have to feel comfortable with that, with them walking in our spaces, and we have to feel okay with that. And if we don't, we're quote unquote transphobic. Hell no. Hell no. And so these are the kind of conversations they're having. So by default, if you're having that conversation, they're putting their transness over biological women. That's what they're doing. And when you think about it, that's a very male thing to do. And people don't like when I say that, but naturally they act like their gender. They act like they're assigned gender at birth. Them trying to, barge their way into women's spaces and try to control, who we can allow in and out our spaces, and trying to invade them and, tell us what to do. That's very male behavior. Whitney says, EJ saying that he looks better than biological women is diabolical. Why compete with biological women? EJ needs to compete with his community. Yeah. Well, because, he feels more womanly to compete with us. So, and I've been telling y'all this for years, and that's the thing. And what they want from us, which is so interesting, they want to come in and compete with us for men, brag about sleeping with men, the same men that we sleep with, husbands, wives, or I'm sorry, husbands to husbands, boyfriends, baby daddies that have women, that live with women, that have children, married to women, right? They want to compete in that way with biological women, but then want special treatment because they're trans or because they're gay or whatever. And it's like, no, when you present yourself as a rival, when you present yourself as competition, you're going to get treated like every other bitch. You're not going to get coddled because you're trans or because you're gay. That's not how this works. You want to be one of the girls, you're going to get treated like one of the girls. You're not going to get special treatment. You get what I'm saying? So that's just not going to happen, especially over in my space. But yeah, I remember how Black women, including myself, would allow them in our spaces, heavily empathize with their plight. But then that started to shift when more of us saw how competitive they were with us. How they would talk about us and our body parts, how they would compare our looks and saying they look better than us. And it's like, just imagine you saying all that stuff. Oh, your vagina stinks. We look better than you. We can take your man. We can sleep with your man. And then you want us to treat you with kid gloves because you're trans or because you're gay. No, that's not how this works. Like, you're not going to get away with that just because you're trans. Like, no, that's not how it works. And so I'm glad that more women are starting to push back. Because we realize that they're not just simply trying to coexist with us, they're trying to replace us. And people think we're being extreme when we say that, but they are. Like, that's what this is. And if not replace us, they're trying to compete with us, and now we realize they have a superiority complex as well. And many of them actually do think that they're better than women. And by no means am I saying that there are no women who don't feel that way about trans women or about gay males, feminine gay males. But I think the proof about what's been happening is in who can criticize the other and not be demonized and who can't. Personally, because I'm just going to keep it real. I don't think that a Black woman as famous as EJ could have come out and said anything about looking better than trans women and being more feminine than trans women and not be dragged all over the internet and labeled transphobic. I don't think that a biological woman that has the stature of someone as T.S. Madison could get away with as much as T.S. Madison gets away with. I don't think that. Because anytime a black woman, especially, criticize a trans woman, she gets canceled or she gets dragged and she gets silenced. Look what happened to Just Hilarious. Look what happened to that woman who decided to make her gym for biological women only. So yeah, it's like and a lot of this is our fault, ladies, especially black women. We've been so inclusive that now they can just say whatever they want. And it's gotten to a point where if you criticize anybody, as a black woman especially, if we criticize anybody from the LGBT for anything, we're automatically labeled as some kind of phobic. But they can call out black women, they can misgender black women, say that we're masculine, say our vagina stinks and everything else. And the minute some of us pick up on that and we call out the misogyny war, then we're playing victim. No, you're not always in the right just because you're a part of the LGBT. And just as we are expected to unpack our phobias, you need to unpack your misogynoir and your colorism and everything else. If you're not willing to do that, then I can't take this conversation seriously. And they'll never be willing to do that. And see, this is why I don't mind being like the villain. I don't mind being evil, because I understand human nature. And it's human nature to put yourself and your plight first. So trans women, trans, people, a lot of the LGBT, because I know it overlaps, right? I'm not trying to completely separate them from black people, but a lot of them do put their sexuality before being black too. But they most certainly put their sexuality before black women and the safety of black women and our plight. All of them. Every plight we have. They put their sexuality before that. And so, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put myself and my plight before everybody's. I don't care. That's what everybody does, y'all. It don't matter if it's the gays, trans, the straight black men. It does not matter. Everybody puts their plight before ours as biological black women. And so I will never feel bad for doing the same. Never. Nobody can ever make me feel bad about it. There's just too many examples of this at this point of them doing the same exact thing. Pony of Fish says they're just another font of misogyny. I 100% agree. And listen, if you're an ally, shout out to you. You should not be offended. But, we have to call a thing a thing. And I had to kind of, I guess, I won't even say push them away, but I had a lot more like gay people who followed my platform, like gay men and trans men or trans women and stuff. And they would get mad at my trans commentary, and eventually they left. And that's fine. Like if this is a safe space for unambiguous black women first, unambiguous dark-skinned black women first. That is who my space is primarily for. So I am going to all the time speak and do content for the betterment and the benefit of unambiguous dark-skinned black women first. Just like everybody else does in their respective spaces. So if you have a problem with that, there's nothing I can do about it, because it's going to be what it is. And there's a lot of people I had to block because they thought that they were going to be centered in my space. You're not. Sorry. And if you're a mammy for any of those groups outside of unambiguous dark-skinned black women, you can get blocked too. You get blocked too. And just a side note, when it comes to that, I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all, but I don't care if you pay me, you're never going to be able to troll on my platform, because I've noticed like an uptick of people doing that too. Like thinking that because you pay me or because you buy a membership or something that you're going to be able to control or troll me. That's not going to happen. You still can get blocked. I don't think y'all understand. My block game is strong. My mods game block game is strong. Especially my virtual assistant who I pay to mod. She don't play that shit. So I run a very tight ship over here. Y'all not going to be able to troll me. You will get blocked expeditiously. So I just want to remind you of that. So if you think you're going to pay to troll me, that's never going to happen. You might as well save your little money. So yeah, that's all I have to say about EJ. Y'all need to understand who these people are and, you know, how they operate just like black males, straight black males. They really do. And they're always going to put their needs first and their plight first. And so you should do the same and you should not feel bad about that. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Now let's move on to Anwar and his viral video about catching print. I'm not going to play it. You can find it on TikTok. But catching print, if you guys don't know, it's like a way to find out a man's D size, basically. I ain't gonna lie. Out of all the videos that Anwar has done, this is probably one of the best ones because this is something that he would obviously know very well as a gay man. Because a lot of these, you know, gay male femininity coaches and dating coaches, a lot of them are like the light versions of us, basically, like the hypergamy girls, the femininity girls. A lot of them got a lot of their content from us and they just kind of ran with it and kind of watered it down. And so I really, to be honest with you, they're not my cup of tea, but this particular video was good. Like, I was like, okay, this is some information the girls can use, you know. Now I will say this though. If a woman came out with this video, and this is what I want to talk about, and that's why I said this is unpopular opinions because the girls really ain't talking about this. Well, I saw a few of them say this, but if this were a woman, especially a black woman who came out with this video, I don't think it would be well received by other women, especially if it were black women. And I talked about this a little bit behind the wall for Neptunian members and patrons. And I talked about how a lot of y'all support men like Anwar and these other gay male dating gurus for saying the very same things that you dragged the hypergamy girls for. A lot of y'all ran us off the internet. Not me, of course, because you can't run me off. I don't give a fuck. You'll never be able to do that. Not me. But a lot of y'all ran off the hypergamy girls. You ran off a lot of the femininity girls, the dating gurus, all to lift up these gay male dating gurus in 2026. I just find that to be so interesting because I have heard Anwar suggest hypergamy to black women. I have heard Anwar suggest that black women date out and receive a fraction of the pushback that black women got for saying the same damn things. I even saw, and this is going to be messy, but I don't give a fuck, but I even saw where Anwar was featured on a popular black feminist channel who publicly denounced hypergamy. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, I found that very interesting. I found that to be very interesting. I was like, oh. So he can go on your channel and talk about hypergamy and how black women should date up and date out. But you had 11 videos criticizing black women for saying the same thing. Yeah. And I want to do a real fleshed out video about that because I talked about that for members only, but like I want to do a fleshed out video on that because I just think that is so interesting. But I wanted to share this comment. You know what? And I didn't even add it to the stream. Let me add it real quick. But I thought that this comment, I saw this girl and she was doing a video and she was talking about how, you know, oh, well, men objectify women. And because men do all this objectification of women, then we should be able to do that back. Hold on, I'm probably echoing. Give me a second. I'm trying to add this picture in here. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. But yeah, and so I was watching this TikTok video. I'm like, oh, the girls, what? Now y'all are on some tit for tat. Now y'all are on some, oh, we need to treat the men how they treat us, and we need to get what we can from these men. What? And so this girl says, the fact that it is a gay man is what made it work. Women haven't been platformed for seeking to this level because the majority of women intrinsically understand that this is not the solution to the problem. And feminists hold each other accountable. A woman teaching this information would have been disciplined by other women because she's held to a higher standard. She's supposed to be better than a man. But Anwar wrote permission slips. He said things expected of him as a man, especially a gay man, taking full responsibility for this line of thinking, but encouraged women to participate. That was all it took. Ultimately, this movement is still counterproductive. It's just the consequence of a system as it stands today. It's very interesting. So basically, the mindset around this is the girls are saying, you know, men are not going to change. Men are going to still objectify women. They're going to do it without any remorse, right? Everything that they do, their whole behavior is anti-woman. The politics they, you know, endorse are anti-woman. The whole system, the system of patriarchy is anti-woman. So in response, women should pretty much meet them at their own level. Or in response, basically they're saying women should get what they can out of the system as well. How is that any fucking different from what all of us have been saying this whole fucking time about hypergamy and femininity and everything else? How is that any different? It's not. But as soon as a man comes out and says, oh, ladies, this is how you catch print, and then the conversation about objectification happens. It's, oh, well, we should do with these men what they do to us. And so what? They're never going to change. So we should just play the game. Really? Really? So what? Why was y'all making all them think pieces about hypergamy then and femininity when that's playing the game too? Exactly. Why do we need men to write permission slips? Girl, it's hella repackaged. And look at I listen. I ain't trying to have no beef with Anwar, but I just gotta call it like I see it. Like, y'all not anti-patriarchy for real, because y'all still in all of your different ways, you still seek men to give you the answers when that women have already been giving you this whole time. And I'm not trying to be shady, but the hypergamy conversations, the femininity conversations were so much deeper than a lot of what these men are even telling y'all, especially like with the femininity advice. I'm like, what? And y'all was criticized. It was the criticism for my femininity series. I got so much pushback, so many ridiculous accusations behind that series that I had to put it behind a paywall. And now you got gay men on TikTok. Yeah, and ladies, this is how you use your femininity to your advantage, and you gotta look a man in his eyes, and I'm like, it's just so basic. The advice is so fucking basic. And I'm like, oh, really? And y'all try to simplify my femininity advice to, oh, she's just trying to teach y'all to wear pretty dresses and speak softly and attract black men, when you know that's not what it was. It's just crazy how y'all just accept this stuff from it. And maybe that's just what we had to do. Maybe we had to open the door first for the men to come in and take over and make it be okay. But like, y'all, like, I can't believe that women, like, I can't believe y'all did this to the hypergamy girls in the femininity movement. You literally destroyed all of that. all to accept these men. And Anwar in particular, he makes thousands and thousands of dollars giving y'all dating advice. So you ran the girls off the internet all to pay a gay man thousands of dollars to hook you up with somebody, or to teach you how to catch print, or to teach you how to use your femininity? Really? That's crazy. That's crazy. And I had to call it out. I had to say something. Yeah, exactly. Maka said you went deep into it. That's why I liked it so much. And it wasn't just me. Before me, it was Aisha Faines with her Women Love Power series, which I heard was just like a freaking masterclass in femininity. I mean, she broke that shit down to the white meat. And so for y'all to be like eating up the watered down version is crazy. But like I said, the catch and print, that's actually good. That's good stuff. That's something I actually haven't heard like women come out and be like, this is how you catch. Like, so, this was actually good. So I'm not shading Anwar. I don't think that, all of his content is basic, but a lot of it is, it's stuff that we've already said. And we actually went deep with it. Like, so I don't know. I find it interesting what the girls are doing. Catching print is how you look to see what size D a man has, whether he's size A, B, C, or D, or whatever. Very interesting. Like, you can go on TikTok and find it. Interesting stuff. And the men are responding how men do, honey. The men are like, oh, but what if you're a grower? What if and it's like, I get that argument, but it's like, we can still kind of tell how far it's going to grow for the most part. At least I can, girl. I don't know. I can see a man's soft and kind of gauge whether or not like he's gonna be like, I can gauge the size he's gonna get to. You get what I'm saying? I don't want this to be, Chrissy After Dark, but yeah. So I think this was a good thing for the men. I think that this was a good thing. So I'm not mad at Anwar for this. I think that men, we need that. We need to give men a taste of their own medicine in this regard, because men are very, very sensitive when it comes to the size of their manhood. They're very, very sensitive about that. Selena says, that's why small hands disturb my spirit. Yeah, and he was talking about the thumb size, which I've heard that before. I've heard that you can look at a man's thumb size and kind of gauge whether or not he's, packing or whatever. But I think the second part of this conversation is, okay, if he has the D, if he has the size that he needs, can he use it? Because that's another thing. Like, not all men can use it. So yeah, but I think this is a good starting point, how to catch print. So, I'm not trying to be a hater. I get it. Good video. This is a good video. But I'm just saying the information as a whole coming from a lot of these male dating gurus and femininity gurus, I just find it to be interesting how Black women especially flock to them, but kind of shit on the women who were saying the same thing. And I'm just saying, ladies, like, that's so counterproductive to do. That's so counterproductive to do, because in 2026, a femininity movement, like, not in the ways that it was, I guess, turning into, like, because that was getting bastardized as well, like the femininity movement within the Black female space, and I called that out too. So I'm not saying it was perfect, but it just seems like, if that was still around, it would have been so much more helpful. You know what I mean? Than a lot of what these men are saying. Because who's going to teach you how to be feminine more than a feminine woman? Men can't teach you that. Yeah, but as far as, a gay man, he can teach you how to catch Prince. So, Bien says Anwar clocked MJ. Girl, it's crazy. And you know what? I don't think we should say a cup. I think it should be I don't think we should say cup. I think it should be print, like A print, B print, C print, D print. I don't think it should be cup, because that kind of still makes it about women. I think it should be, print. So, but yeah, I fully support catching print. I fully support it. I just wanted to say that part as well. But yeah, I think it's funny how y'all said A cup makes it funny. Yeah, I guess so. That is funny. Amber says there are no true ways of guessing a man's size without at least seeing an outline or something. Height, hand size, race is almost completely irrelevant. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think that the print, though, you can get an idea a little bit. You can. What? The nostrils? What are you? Okay, this is something new. Y'all are hilarious. Yeah, the gray sweatpants are very telling. Please make a video about the hypocritical creator. Who? I have no idea who you're talking about. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Now, I did want to do like a quick little follow-up on the natural hair conversation that I was having about Cardi B in my last video, because I did not put this clip in here. And I wish I would have put the clip in, but I forgot. I don't know how I forgot this. But it was some women in the comments that were like, oh, just because Cardi B sold out of her products, it doesn't mean that, she actually had a lot in stock, because, celebrities will make it seem like, they sold out 1 million products when really they only had, I don't know, 100,000 in inventory or whatever, which I actually 100% agree with, right? But ladies, and I get your point, right? I'm not refuting your point, right? But Black women standing outside of Cardi B's pop-up event is still bad optics. Okay? When it comes to a woman who does not like or respect Black women. And it wasn't just Black women, but it was too many of y'all. And then when you hop on TikTok to defend the hair care line, that's bad optics as well. Okay? Doesn't really matter how much inventory she had. It's just not a good look. And that was the part of my one part of my last video that I was trying to, or one point of my last video that I was trying to make. But let me play this video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And I should have added this in the last video, but I didn't. My bad. But we're gonna play it now.
So I'm at the Cardi B pop-up shop in the Bronx. I live uptown now, even though I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, but I'm here. This is the line. This is the line. This is the line. And I'm gonna be keeping it real with y'all. I love Cardi B, but the ball was a little dropped here because people are under the assumption that they can come and buy the products today. And no, that's not what's happening out here. They have the Good Grow Beauty truck, but it's just a photo op opportunity, and they're giving you a little small sample, I believe, of her serum, and that's it. So if you're on these lines trying to buy products, go home. Secondly, They did the pre-sale today for the drop for April, but I wish I would have known about that early this morning because I just would have bought online. So I'm gonna wait to April. I'm gonna get off the line. It's a little unfortunate. It's cold out here and it's bottled water, and people out here even with their children, and they just should have kept it real and been honest. Like, listen, you're not gonna be able to buy products. It's a photo op opportunity, and instead of dragging people out here, and this is not what it is. So I'm gonna be headed home. People came to buy products. They ain't come to get a little sample. They came to spend their money, Cardi. I'm being real with you, girl. They came to spend their money, and your PR team should have been more honest about that. So it wouldn't be all this confusion that it is right now. And because people are upset out here, I'm not going to hold you. But love you, girl. And we still going to support you when the main drop happens in April. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, so I love New York at the New York accent too. Like I love to hear New Yorkers talk. I love that accent too. But yeah, so that's embarrassing though, y'all. Like this is crazy. Like, oh my God. And I'm not gonna repeat everything I said in the last video. You can go watch it. Okay. But this was my point, y'all. It's not just about, oh, maybe it's a minority of Black women doing this or buying this. It's like, but these kind of optics look bad, y'all. And then for y'all to be standing in line with your children in the cold for a photo op and for some products you didn't even get, girl, please, Black women, go get some self-esteem. Cardi B does not like y'all. She does not like y'all. Yeah, and I'm glad a lot of you pointed this out as well under my last video, because this is something else I didn't say, but what it says, Ashes and Orchid says, the Grow Good brand name is diabolical. You think Black women would avoid anything Cardi B after how she talked poorly on unambiguous Black women? Exactly. And I originally didn't even think about that, like how the name could be considered a slight to Black women, like, oh, you can't grow your hair. And it's like after a whole natural hair movement of Black women showing how they grew their 4C hair down their backs, and y'all are trying to act like, come on. And so maybe it's just for the hood rats who don't know how to grow their hair yet. And it was another girl under the comments, and she was like, oh, what did she say? She was like, oh, well, you can't expect young Black girls to look at YouTubers from the early 2010s. And I'm like, man, some of those YouTubers I featured in my last video are young girls. And these videos are recent, like they're a year old with millions of views. So you can't use that excuse and say, oh, well, these young girls can't find any information. No, they're finding it because they're seeking it out. It's some of you who are seeking out hair care advice from women who don't look like you. It's those women who are flocking to Cardi B. And so that was the point of my video. Like, you can find women with your actual hair type who look like you, where you don't have to spend any money. That was another argument. Oh, Cardi B's products are affordable. Yeah, you still don't need them. And then somebody else said, they were like, oh, well, it was some type of, I guess, scientist or chemist on TikTok who were breaking down the ingredients in her products. And basically he was saying that they were mid. And I'm like, yeah, this is probably like, I mean, everything that could be out right now that could help Black women's hair to grow is already out. Anybody reformulating, repackaging stuff, it's not anything that you haven't already seen before. And a lot of the girls who are growing their hair down their backs, they're not using anything special. They're using regular shampoo, water, coconut oil to moisturize the ends, or some type of other oil, jojoba oil, something. And they're leaving their hair the fuck alone. It's not, they're not using some type of magic pill or magic hair product or magic serum to grow their hair. So you don't need Cardi B's hair products. You don't. And I'm sorry, you don't need Sacred either. My hair is 18 inches. And I grew my hair to 18 inches way before Sacred came out, way before Grow Good came out. Now, I was using Kathy Housey's product, Ultra Black Hair. But even she teaches you how to grow your hair without her own products, really. I mean, if you really read the book and you read the information, it's like, oh, well, you can do this without, like, you know what I mean? So, girl, and like I said in my last video, even with locks, like you can like locks is the most low maintenance hairstyle ever. You don't need a bunch of products. Yeah, you do have to maintain them and you do have to take care of them, but that is proof that black women can grow their hair down their backs without doing much of anything. You know, not again, you do have to maintain locks, but because it's such a low maintenance hairstyle, that's how it grows because the girls are leaving it alone. And there were even a couple girls in my comments trying to explain that away. They're like, "Oh, it locks is not a good example because the hair is locked up in there and so it doesn't go anywhere." I'm like, "Oh my god." Y'all need y'all to learn about your hair. Kathy Housey's book is still available, by the way. You can buy the book, the link, you can find it on my Amazon storefront, and you can still buy her book and you can read about it. The hair being locked up don't have nothing to do with it. It's because they're leaving the hair alone. They're letting it grow. They're not over manipulating it. That's how it's growing. And listen, you can do the same thing with loose afro hair. I don't have locks and I grew my hair very long. And listen, I'm a lazy natural. Y'all remember when I came up on here? I don't remember how many years ago that was, but I wasn't taking care of my hair and it broke the fuck off and I had to get it cut off. And it grew back. It grew right back. Yeah, her name is Kathy Housey. But yeah, if a lazy natural can grow there, if a lazy natural like me who don't like doing my hair, I don't be wrapping my hair up at night. I don't wear bonnets. First of all, I don't like the way they look, but I don't like the way they feel on my head. I feel suffocated when I wear bonnets at night. I don't do none of that stuff, and I still grew my hair because I leave it alone. So you don't need all these products, y'all. And I feel like that's another thing. With black women, like we're product junkies. That's another thing. Yeah, I do have silk pillows, but I don't always sleep on silk pillows either. Yeah, I wear either a pineapple or a bun at night. And I just do my hair the day of. Like if I need to do my hair, I just do everything the day of. And say I want to, like, I don't know, do some flexi rods or something. I'll do it the day of and I'll just, put some heat on it, like, blow dry it or whatever. If I need to lay down my edges, I will put gel on it and put a scarf on it and blow dry it so the edges can dry. Like I just do everything the day of. I don't like set my hair at night. I'm not saying I've never done that, but it's just uncomfortable for me. Like I can't, it's hard for me to like sleep in flexi rods or rollers. It's just very uncomfortable for me personally. But yeah, you don't need a bunch of hair products, y'all. You don't need that. And somebody asked what products I recommend. I use As I Am. Those are my products. And listen, I am not against. Here's what I want to say too. I am not against black women buying products that work. Of course, you're not always going to be able to find products that are black owned that work or that are readily available. As I Am is not black owned, but they work really well on my hair, right? However, if like I said, if the owner or CEO of As I Am came out and said, black women are roaches, and I don't like black women, and called a black woman's child a monkey, I would not be purchasing As I Am. Okay? So that's the difference. It's not just, oh, y'all be supporting white owned products, so why can't you support Cardi B? Because the white owned products I support didn't come out and call black women roaches. Like, this is not hard to understand. And even if you are going to support Cardi B or anybody else, you don't need to publicly defend her or publicly coddle her or protect her and defend her brand. And that's goes back to this whole conversation I be trying to have with y'all about optics. The optics are bad when you do that. Like, it's one thing, okay, if you're gonna buy the products, buy them in silence. You don't have to make a TikTok video defending Cardi and the hair product. You don't have to do that. Just buy them and be quiet. And so that's another thing I want y'all to understand. It's not the conversation also needs to be about optics as well. Yeah, I don't do a lot with my hair, so I just, I can't. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I can't like give you a whole bunch of product recommendations because I'm not a product junkie. Like I don't try a lot of products because I don't find that I need them. For my gel, I only use Eco Styling and I like the Gorilla gel. And like I said before, I hate the name, but that gel works for me really well. Those are the only gels I have in my bathroom. The only two gels. And as far as like shampoo, everything else is like as I am. I don't like Shea Moisture because that didn't work for me. So yeah, and Eco Styling Gel, that is more so if you want to, for me anyway, for my hair type, like I find that Eco Styler Gel does not work for overnight styles. Like if you're trying to set something overnight, I'm sorry, it does work for that. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Eco Styling Gel is more like unless you like, say you want to lay down your edges, right? And you say you're doing a bun and you want to lay down your edges. Eco Styler Gel is better to do that overnight, or if you're going to set it, you need to have some time to set it, like so you can blow dry it, like putting your scarf on and blow drying it through the scarf, right? But with Gorilla Gel, and I think it's the one in the purple thing. I think that's what it is. I don't remember, but I think that's the one I use. And that one you can just put on. You don't have to do anything to it. Like it dries perfectly. And it's not cakey. It doesn't turn white. But yeah, and if anybody, listen, like I said in the comment section under my last video, if you have any Black owned recommendations for hair products, leave them in the comments, leave them in the chat. Because I would like to support Black women, more Black women, but I'm just going to keep it real. Like I said, I don't buy a lot of products. And after, before Kathy Housey went out of business, that was my conditioning system and my shampoo system. So when I tell you before her, I wasn't buying hardly anything. She was my conditioner. Ultra Black Hair was my conditioner, which Ultra Black Hair is Kathy Housey's old brand. But she was the only person I got conditioner from, shampoo from. She had the spray conditioner and the deep conditioner. She has, to this day, I cannot find a better deep conditioner. Now, the girl said Sacred was good. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But I have also found that I don't really need it anymore. But obviously, deep conditioning is always going to be good for your hair. But I just, I ain't going to lie. I really wasn't. Only time I was really deep conditioning like that is when I was trying to grow my hair out. And now, I'm really not, I've reached the length that I want to reach, and I'm really not trying to grow it, longer, I guess. And so, but yeah, deep conditioning makes your hair strong, so, I probably should still be doing that. And if you guys have a Black woman owned deep conditioner that you want to recommend, definitely put it in the chat, because I would love to know what the girls are using. But yeah, when I tell you I'm just not a product junkie at all, because I just don't think it's necessary. Find a line, one line or a couple lines, hair care lines that work for you, and leave it at that. You ain't got to do all that extra stuff. And I know girls who use all natural stuff. If you wanted to go all natural, you can look on YouTube, and the girls are literally mixing up conditioner. I think y'all said Cardi was doing that. But even before Cardi started doing that, there are black women on YouTube that are mixing up their own conditioner. Yeah, flaxseed. They're making flaxseed gel, flaxseed conditioner. J Ray says black owned brands y'all need to make viral are Design Essentials, the Dew, or is that the Dough? Michelin X or Melanin X. She's Made / Basque and Lather / Watch and See. Also, black women need to get blood work done to check levels. Internal is more important than the product. You know, and I saw some people say that too under the comments. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, what you put inside is obviously going to help your hair. However, girl, I done seen some of the most unhealthiest black women grow hair down their back. So I'm not saying you wrong when it comes to that, but I don't know how much of that is really a factor for most black women. I'm just gonna be honest. Even me, like, I don't always eat the healthiest, girl. And I will say this. Part of it is genetics too. I will say that because I naturally have fast growing hair and fast growing fingernails. Toenails too, girl. My toenails are disrespectful, girl. If I don't cut my toenails, they just be growing hella long. But my nails, you know, grow long naturally and fast, and so does my hair. And I don't always eat healthy, girl. I'll be eating candy and everything else. So it's like, I don't know if that's as much of a factor as what the girls be saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I know that the healthier you eat, like the healthier your nails and your hair is going to be. But I have seen, girl, listen, I have seen some of the fattest women with the most beautiful hair. And you know they unhealthy, girl, and they be fat as hell, and they got the prettiest hair, long, type 4 hair. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny. And so again, I think that's important, but all I'm saying is that I don't know if it take all of that. You know, get your blood work done though. Like, go to the doctor and make sure you healthy and all that shit. Like, I'm not, like, I think that's very important. But girl, black women can grow their hair. Like, it it don't take all that. Like, I promise you, for most black women, it don't. Y'all just gotta start leaving your damn hair alone. That's like really what it is. Being healthy goes beyond what you eat. I think vitamins and making sure you don't have deficiencies is vital. Yeah, and look, again, I'm not saying y'all wrong, but a bitch got low iron, a bitch got low vitamin D. My shit still grows. And again, I'm not saying that I am not saying that you guys are wrong. And again, I know it's genetics too. A lot of it is genetics, but girl, my blood work is not up to par like that. It's not the worst. But girl, I don't be taking my iron like that. I do take my multivitamin though. Y'all reminded me that I need to get my shit together. Like, I need to start taking my iron pills regularly like I need to. But yeah, my iron low, girl. I got low vitamin D. But I will say, y'all are right. I'm not saying y'all are wrong, because I know the healthier I am, I notice the stronger my nails are, the less likely they are to break. So yeah, I'm not saying y'all are wrong. Girl, yes. And I know I was going to ask my doctor, because she give me some smaller iron pills, because them pills are big as hell. And I hate taking pills. I hate taking them. And I was going to ask her too, because I found some liquid iron on Amazon, and I was going to ask her if that was okay to start taking. Yeah, I know. It's very important for you to take your iron. For sure. It is. Yeah, I definitely want to try the liquid iron. For sure. I try to get my iron in natural ways too. Like I be trying to drink beet juice and that shit is disgusting. But I be trying to drink, and eat foods that have iron in them naturally too. Yeah, but yeah, my point is like I'm not saying you guys are wrong, but I think the first order of business is for Black women to stop over manipulating their hair. I think that's the first order of business. And yeah, take care of yourself, definitely. If not for hair, just for your health in general. But I don't think that's the main thing that's stopping hair growth for some Black women. Because again, I done seen the most unhealthiest bitches with the most beautiful hair. So mm-hmm. Oh, I might have to try that black butterfly. Beet and apple juice is a good combination. The thing is with that, like, I try not to drink my calories, but I might have to try that concoction and see if that works for me. Oh my God, I thought I was the only one who thought that beet juice tastes like dirt. It literally tastes like mud. It's disgusting. And my mom and my sister, girl, they love beets and they be putting it on their greens and everything. The pickled beets and I wish I could eat those because they're like a superfood. But I can't eat them. I'll literally gag if I try to eat a beet. And so the juice is a little easier for me to get down. Blame It on Mercury says try Uncle Funky's daughter hair mask and Neocell biotin / collagen pills, girl. I wouldn't put you on it if it didn't work. Okay. The girls are putting resources in the chat. Okay, look. Y'all put me on. Thank you. Yeah, I tried adding the lemon juice. That didn't work well. You know what? I don't mind eating liver, but my mama has to cook it. Like I feel like she the only person I can eat the liver from. If you roast your beets, it makes them taste sweet. I might have to try that. Yeah, my mom, she makes liver and onions sometimes, and I actually like her liver and onions. It's not like my favorite, but yeah. J Ray says try gold beets, especially roasted. They taste good. Okay. Y'all put me on. Okay, so and I wanted to play this video since we're on the topic of hair, because look, the hair conversation that is happening on TikTok is working for the girls, and it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, okay, is this like the natural hair movement? I don't know how many waves of the natural hair movement has it been. Like, would this be considered the second wave? If that's what it is, but like, I don't know. Has it only been one wave or two waves? Because I think in the 70s, when Black women, were wearing their natural fro, that could be considered a wave. I don't know. What do y'all think? But anyway, I wanted to play this video. Where is it?
About 2 days ago, I saw a TikTok video talking about how we're all in some type of hair psychosis. And now look at me. I took my shit out. I'm done. Look at my baddie friend. Just wait for her.
What is going on?
We're done. Free us. Free Black women from the propaganda. Not your hair,
Free
baddie.
yourself from the propaganda today, guys.
I thought that was just so cute. I was like, see, this is the point of it all. Like, ladies, we're not trying to hurt your feelings with these conversations. We just want you to know that you look beautiful with your natural hair. Look how beautiful those girls were. My goodness. Beautiful girls. Embracing their natural hair. And so that's the point. That's the point of it all. And I wanted to play some of these other videos that I didn't, because I didn't want to make my last video too long. And so I was like, well, I'll come back and talk about it in the live stream. But I thought that these girls, man, they, I don't like a lot of the commentary on TikTok, but baby, when I tell you the girls was cooking on this topic, they was cooking. So let me first play this girl who, now see, I don't agree with this girl, but I do want to play her video because I didn't get to it in the last one. So let's listen to it.
Now that I have my wig on, I'm going to talk about the girlies on here who have been trying to insinuate that black women hate their hair because they constantly wear wigs and take care of said wigs a little bit more than their hair. First of all, hair is a big accessory for black people. You trying to force a black person to consistently wear an afro is you trying to make them act white. It's only white people that are consistently in their hair texture from the start of their life to the finish. Even Asians experiment with their hair a lot. So it's like, I know for a fact black people experiment with their hair the most. And I want to have pink hair today, straight black hair next week, curly wavy, curls, afro. I want to do it all. This is one life. And you're not going to tell me what to do with my hair so that I can prove to you that I have racial pride. Like, it's so dumb. Ugh.
And what she said made absolutely no sense because, girl, white people, Asian people, for the most part, and don't get me wrong, white people do wear extensions. White women, they dye their hair blonde, they do all the things, right? But the difference between them and us is they typically use hair that is their own texture. And to say that we're trying to make, I don't know, black women try to be white to try to make them embrace their hair, like, what? That, like, none of that makes sense at all to me. Sorry if you hear the sirens in the back. Y'all know I'm downtown, child. It's just noisy down here all the fucking time. But yeah, and she's like, you're trying to make us be white, and basically that's, you're trying to make us adhere to the Eurocentric standard of beauty. Girl, nothing is more Eurocentric and white than wearing straight hair or hair that looks like white women's hair 11 months out of the year. Like, there's nothing more Eurocentric and trying to be white than that. Like, stop playing these games. But this was a response to that video that I thought was good. Where is it at?
I just watched a woman say that urging black women to wear their hair in their natural state, especially women with type 4 hair, that is perpetuating whiteness or, trying to be white, because it's only white people who ever consistently wear their hair in its natural state as it grows out of their head. And I must say, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I've heard a lot of really stupid things. That is at least top 5 dumbest things that I've ever heard come out of someone's mouth. This conversation isn't necessarily for me as a 3C girl. I love it. I encourage it. Oh God, it brings me such joy seeing women wear their natural hair out, but I'm not trying to center myself in this. That being said, no. There are not only white people and black people on this earth. There are people of many different ethnicities, races, colors, creeds, backgrounds who wear their hair naturally as it grows out of their head. See? Asian people, Latino people, Southeast Asian people. What do you mean? Polynesian, indigenous.
Yeah, and I felt the same exact way. I'm like, girl, is non-black women who wear, and listen, here's the thing. White women, non-black women, it's not to say that they don't, have any form of self-hate. We've talked about how the white girls, for a minute, that filler and the Botox, that was all the rage. I don't know what they're doing now with their lips, but like, so, I think white women have self-hate in terms of, they don't like the size of their lips. The BBL craze where the girls, the non-black women, they want to be built more like, black women. Not to say that all black women are built like that, but for the most part, they're trying to mimic, what I think more black women on average would look like in terms of body type. We've talked about the Middle Eastern girlies. They hate their dorsal humps. Oh baby, they be getting that nose shaved down, honey. They hate them humps, them dorsal humps, baby. The Middle Eastern girls, they don't play about that, okay? And don't give a fuck, okay? You be watching their channels and they'll be like, yeah, and I got my hump removed. Like, they just talk about it like it's normal because that's just what they do. I feel like the Middle Eastern girls, their dorsal humps is like black women's weave, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like it's that bad. It's that bad. It's that normalized with them. They're super normalized in their communities. Because I watch a lot of the Persian girls and the Persian girls. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but I watch all the luxury girls, and so some of them are Persian, and almost all of them that I watch have had their dorsal humps removed. And I think white women, they have an issue with their hair color. They like blonde, and so it's not just black women. Like I'm, I don't think we should single out black women. Other race women absolutely have their self-hate issues, y'all. We're not saying that they don't, however, I do think we have to be honest with the fact that hair, especially on black women, right? It's very striking. Like, that's one of the first things people look at when they look at you, right? Is your hair. That it's like your crown. They say it's your crown for a reason. That's one of the first things people notice about you. And so when you have black women who on average have very kinky hair texture and they're wearing these wigs that look nothing like their hair, to me, it stands out more than, say a white woman who doesn't want to be brunette and wears blonde, but it's still her natural hair texture. You get what I'm saying? So I think that it tends to stand out more because it's a wig, and because the wig is just so opposite of the hair texture, it's a little bit more noticeable. And so I think we need to be honest about that too. And then when you think about like how different black women's hair is, okay? Nobody can mimic this, y'all. Nobody can mimic what our hair looks like. So you should be using that to your advantage. You get what I'm saying? Like, nobody can look as good with type 4 hair as black women or with kinky hair, because, a lot of y'all say that we should get away with the typing. We should, stop using the typing system. And I tend to agree with that. So we should say kinky hair, coarse hair, whatever you want to call it. Personally, I think you should just reword it. If you want to use a typing system, make type 4 hair type 1. Make black hair type 1. I don't understand why it wasn't done like that from the beginning. Oh, yeah, I do understand, because it wasn't a black woman who created it, I'm sure. And so it should have been type 1 from the very fucking beginning. But whatever. My point here is that nobody can do this like you. Nobody's hair looks like yours. Yeah, I like fluffy. I like that. I like that term, fluffy. Yeah, it was a biracial man. Yeah, and so of course it wasn't gonna be right. It was a man, and he was biracial. So, but yeah, I just think that we should start using this to our advantage. Because like I tell y'all all the time, baby, my natural hair is a think piece, like, or a statement piece. Like, that's one. And I will say, like, it's okay. I'm not gonna say I don't get any compliments from black people, because I do. But baby, them white people, they be on my hair, honey. They be like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Your hair is so pretty. Like, and they be serious too. Like, so it's like, it's a statement piece. It's something that sets you apart. They do be gagged, girl. They be so impressed. I think it's so funny. Yeah, and so, yeah, I don't get a lot of them trying to touch it, thankfully. Yeah, they're very intrigued. Very, very intrigued. People are very intrigued, and they love it. And don't get me wrong, you do get opposite reactions too. You get people who are like, especially if it's like big, some people look at it like you crazy too, but that's okay. I don't know. I like getting attention for my hair. I love it. I love standing out from the crowd. Oh, I like that. Our hair reminds me of a cloud. Yeah, and see, this is what I would say. Oh, and that's another thing, like about that video I just did about Cardi B. Um, because one of the girls was like, "Oh, her hair is 4C, but it just has heat damage," and and I'm not saying y'all are wrong, okay? Because I do think maybe Cardi B has type 4A hair, maybe 4A, but 4C, I know what heat damage 4C looks like. It's usually like bone straight in some areas, right? And then it's real kinky in the areas that are not damaged, right? And so, like, do you know what I mean when I say that? I wish I had a picture, but like, usually, like, when my hair has been heat damaged in the past, it's like bone straight in the area that's heat damaged, and then real kinky and real shrunken up in the areas that it's not damaged. And so it's like, I don't know if I can give Cardi B 4C, y'all. And then like when y'all say like 4C, girl, when I tell you, y'all, my hair is 18 inches stretched. When it's shrunken, 50% gone, baby. It's like 8 inches, okay? 9 inches. That shit is like to the bottom of my neck type shit. Like, so y'all be acting like we don't know what type 4 hair look like. Girl, when I tell you, we know the shrinkage, okay? We know what that shit looks like. It's 50% shrinkage, if not more than that. And I feel like the healthier it is, the more it shrinks. So, girl, Cardi B ain't no damn 4C. Like, the way y'all was trying to reach, even under my comment section. Chrissy, because she is 4C, because she be getting the Brazilian blowouts, and that's why she 4C, because that's why I look like that, because she straighten her hair all the time, Chrissy. She do got 4C. I'm like, okay, girl. I don't see it. I don't see it. But whatever. I'm gonna let y'all have it. I just don't see it. I don't agree. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. Okay. And listen, I have like my hair is different type of fours. So it's not all the same texture all around. And the back of my hair is really, really fine and soft. And so it's like, well, I won't say it is a little softer, but I think all my hair is soft, but the back especially is like silky, if that makes sense. And it's like it has a looser curl pattern, and it's really easy to break off. Even that is kinkier than Cardi's hair. And I'm like, girl. I think Cardi does have black in her ancestry. I don't know what you're asking, blaming on Mercury. We're not saying that Cardi has no black in her at all. But I think she's mixed race, and I think she has a hair texture that's more common with mixed race people. Even if it's not the most even if it's not like the finest texture. Oh, but you talking about your shrinkage, Lauren? Girl, that's what I'm saying, girl. The girls know you can have long hair, baby. When you wash your hair, you bald headed. That's just what it is. Like for the typical 4C girly, you can have hair down your back, but when you wash your hair, you damn near bald headed. And nothing's wrong with that. But I'm just saying, like, we know what 4C hair looks like. We know what it look like. Okay, see, y'all corrected me. Okay, y'all say I'm giving her too much at 4A. Listen, y'all, they just gonna have to be trigger girl. I don't care. I'm gonna tell the truth. Somebody got to tell the truth on this internet. Somebody got to tell the truth. Mm. Selena says, I feel 4A has gotten hijacked as well, but that's a whole nother top. See? Listen, correct me if I'm wrong. If it's 3C, it's 3C, girl. I ain't trying to make her hair for. I don't know. Oh, I love that. Benedict says, Chrissy, you opened my eyes about being in denial of our natural hair. I just got a kinky curly half wig that matches mine because my hair is short. Thank you. I'm so happy for you. And that's what I'm saying, girl. If fake it till you make it. Baby, we got the technology now. Okay. The natural hair girls got everything they need. You got the wig that looks like your own. You have the clip-ins. You don't have no excuse. That shit blend in good too. Cause girl, show had me a wig when I had to cut my hair off. And I do agree with the girls who said that Black women are obsessed with long hair. I like long hair too. I can't even front, y'all. I like long hair too. But my thing is it really anti-Black if Black women can grow long hair? Like, y'all, I feel like y'all be trying to rob Black women of long hair. Like, we can grow long hair like everybody else. So is it anti-Black to say that you like long? I mean, because when I say long hair, I'm definitely talking about type 4 or kinky hair. Long type 4 or kinky hair. And I will wear my hair shrunken up too. Like, because like I said, I'm a lazy natural girl. I don't be feeling like doing my hair every day. And I only straighten my hair twice a year, so I am natural 90% of the time. Yeah, her giving hair is good if you want some natural hair extensions. Tiana Paris's line is good. It's called Bloom. They got the little cheap hair extensions on Amazon, the natural coily kinky hair extensions. Yeah, I don't think hair extensions are anti-Black if it looks like your hair. Yeah, and so there's another video I wanted to play. This will be the last one for when it comes to the natural hair discourse. But I thought this was good too. And this woman, her name is, I think, Fulaki Aina. I don't know if she's Jackie Aina's sister. I know she has a lot of siblings, so y'all can let me know in the chat.
I thought I was the biggest wig warrior until this natural hair discourse started, because look, lace lifting right now. I live for this shit. I love me a wig. And let me tell you something. You gotta admit when you getting your tea clogged. I'm somebody, y'all know me. I'm overly opinionated and I have a thick skull. Once I make my mind up about something, you can't get through. And the message is even getting through to me. And I thought I was the biggest wig warrior. I thought it was wig till the day I die. But the way that some people are like not admitting that they're getting their tea clogged is scaring me, guys. You have to admit when you're getting your tea clogged, because it's levels to this shit. Like, some people just be making points and you got to be like, yeah, you're kind of right. Like, I guess I never really thought about why I don't wear my natural hair out. I'm not going to lie. I know that makes me sound crazy, but I really truly have never really thought about it. And the stuff people are saying is making me think like, well, why don't you, boo? Like, let's unpack that. I might not unpack it in front of y'all, but I'm going to sit down and really unpack that, because what's actually going on? I don't think I hate my natural hair. I have never been one to perpetuate negative stereotypes about 4C hair. I don't get online and be like, it's tough, it's hard to manage, it's expensive, it's da-da-da. Baby, when you're sitting there bleaching and plucking and dyeing and frying and laying to the motherfucking side with the pressing comb and the T3 curling iron, you can never say nothing about my... Taking care of my natural hair is like... It's like using primer to do a wig. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's the primer step. Like, it's nothing to me. Like, I don't look at my wash days as some extensive, like, crazy thing that I do. It's just a part of my, like, body routine. Like, I just think of it like, you know, when you have an event coming up and you're like, oh, I gotta shave my legs that day. Okay, cool. I need a little extra time. That's how I think of taking care of my natural hair. Like, even when I didn't understand how to, and I didn't have like a set routine, I still didn't look at my wash days as this like 6-7 hour crazy, I don't even know thing, and where I was crying and looking in the mirror and just like dreading it. Like, I look at my natural hair, I genuinely do think my natural hair is beautiful, but you still need to unpack me, sorry. I still need to unpack why I don't wear it. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And I'm also not afraid to admit when I'm getting my motherfucking teeth clogged, because the shit people are saying, the way that some people are defending the wigs is like kind of scaring me a bit. And again, I thought I was the biggest wig warrior, but there might be people that's bigger than me. It might be bigger than rap, boo. Like, this is nuts, guys. Leave that girl alone. You really got to sit down and think, like, is she really trying to harm me? No. The message that's being spread is genuinely so important, because if it can reach me, then it can reach anybody. But again, I thought I was the biggest. Maybe I'm not the biggest. Maybe this levels to this, like, wig warrior shit. And, like, I'm not saying I'm taking the wig off tomorrow, but, like, it's really just not that... I mean, you guys have seen my natural hair. I'm not ashamed or afraid to, like, get online in my natural hair, but why don't you wear it out, boo? You can do a video talking about your haircut routine, showing your hair, stretched, unstretched, natural state, all that. Like, I'm not afraid to do that, but, like, why don't I wear it out? Thank you. Thank you for making me think about that. Thank you. And I implore y'all to also, like, just calm down, because it's really not that deep. We're not all perfect, and it's not that serious. It's actually not that serious. Like, it's an amazing thing that it's actually just hair. Like, it really is just hair. Like, seriously. I feel like people are purposely missing the message by hiding behind this excuse of like, oh, it's how you say it, and it's her tone, and like, it's your delivery, blah, blah, blah. Oh, please. Oh, please. Please. And that's coming from me, because in the past, I have actually heard this message being spread, and I felt like the way that people were saying it was coming from this, like, superiority complex kind of tone. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not hearing you, because, like, you're kind of irritating me a little bit. Right now, the way that people are talking about this is the most genuine and authentic way that I've ever heard this conversation being had. So please miss me with that.
Yeah, so the girls, that's why I said, is it another wave? Are we in wave 3 of the natural hair movement? I don't know, but it makes me kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie. I hope I'm not getting excited for nothing, but I just hope the girls really start listening, and I hope that they start wearing their hair, because like I said, this video is the one that really made me smile. Like, I gotta play it again.
About 2 days ago, I saw a TikTok video talking about how we're all in some type of hair psychosis. And now look at me. I took my shit out. I'm done. Look at my baddie friend. Just wait for her.
What's going on?
We're done. Free us. Free black women from the propaganda. Natural hair,
Free
baddies.
yourself from the propaganda today, guys.
I thought that was just so cute. Like, it's just so cute. And so I don't know. It makes me happy. And I hope that black women continue with the conversation. And I think that what Falaki, I hope I'm saying her name right. I think that what she's saying is spot on. And I applaud her for, like, being open-minded enough to, like, self-reflect about it and be like, hey, you know, wait a minute. Why don't I wear my hair? You know, why do I always have a wig on? Why do I feel prettiest in a wig? You know, and so it's okay to self-reflect and ask yourself that and work through the self-hate, y'all. None of us are perfect. And so work through that shit and get over it. Folake. Is that how you say it? Folake? Falake. I love that name. That's a beautiful name. I'm assuming it's African. Yeah, that's a beautiful name. Same, Delatro, same. That's what I'm saying, okay? And that's another thing, like, we need to get honest about multiple conversations, not just the hair weave conversation, but the weight conversation as well. Because, girl, we need to take the wigs off and lose the weight. You know? We got to keep it real around here. So I just hope that these conversations, and, you know, as far as like the tone policing, I mentioned that in my last video too. I actually don't feel like Black women are saying it any differently. I just think that more of us are open to receive it now. But the girls been telling y'all for years, baby. They've been telling you in the nicest way, the sweetest way. Hey, ladies, let's wear our natural hair. Let's love our hair. Y'all didn't care. Y'all didn't care. It don't matter how we say it. Delatro says this baby weight. Some of y'all don't have that excuse, including myself, honey. When I gain weight, it's because I ate too much and I'm not working out like I'm supposed to. Those of us who can't use the baby excuse, what's your next excuse? It's just time to keep it real with yourself, ladies. It's okay. But yeah, I was just really delighted by this conversation, and it gave me some hope. It gave me some hope for Black women when it comes to embracing our hair texture. Again, like, I feel like, you know, a lot of this has to do with Black men and the fact that Black men don't like type 4 natural hair. But one thing I have not heard consistently in these conversations is Black men being mentioned at all. So like the girls are really doing it for themselves. And I find that refreshing too. Because I know like in the past, when we've had like conversations about natural hair, the first thing that'll come up is be like, oh, well, Black men don't like it. Oh, well, I can't attract a certain type of man with, you know, my natural hair. And I don't really hear that in this conversation. Again, because I think that the girls are learning how to do their hair too. Like, you know, there's so many options now. Like we talked about the extensions, we talked about the wigs, the natural hair wigs, we talked about, you know, the clip-ins, and we have Black women online giving all these tutorials where you can make your hair look quote unquote presentable, you know, in its natural state. So it's like, yeah. And then also, just like Two Love said, I don't care what Black men want. Like we're in the decenter men movement as well. So like now the girls are like, we don't give a fuck what men want. Like we're gonna do what we want to do. And so I'm just glad that however you get there, okay, however you get to the conclusion that you need to wear your natural hair, I don't care what path you take to get there, as long as you get to the same place. That's it. Okay. Yep. Trish says also more Black women are dating out. That's a good point. Because when I tell you, baby, non-Black men, they don't care as much. I'm not saying they don't care at all. I'm not saying that it's never a factor, but it's not how it is in the Black community. It's not. Because typically when non-Black men, especially white men, when they date Black women, they're already like going against the grain. And so the last thing they're going to give a fuck about is your hair. Okay. It's just never come up for me. You know, it's never been a problem for me. So, yeah. Yeah, I said that before, Chiquita. Like, now that my hair is long, I get more compliments from Black men. But when my hair was shorter, I didn't get a lot of compliments from Black men in terms of my actual hair. I didn't really, the compliments didn't start flowing from Black men until my hair got long. So yeah, they be trying to act like, oh, we love Black women and their natural hair. I'm not saying none of them do, but for the most part, girl, they don't like natural hair. Let's just keep it real. They don't like kinky, coily natural hair. They don't. And that's okay. Because when you don't need them to like you, it don't matter. Yeah, that's something they lie about. They be lying. They are liars. You can't trust what they say. Yeah. And I think it's not just black men. I mean, black women typically like longer natural hair too, y'all, you know. So it's not just black men, but yeah, but the way they be lying about it is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But yeah, somebody under the last video, they were like, if black men loved type 4 natural hair, then the weave industry would go out of business. I was like, that is so true. Maybe not, because the girls would still be wearing, you know, like the kinky coily texture, but I'm telling you, that Brazilian wavy, the straight hair, that wouldn't sell. That wouldn't sell like that. If black men liked type 4 curly, kinky curly hair, yeah, that shit wouldn't sell. That straight hair, that wavy hair would not sell. Think Noodle says, Chrissy, what are your thoughts on Love Fruit Island and Chocolatina on TikTok? And some of these AI shows and them using black women image in AI content. Yeah, I talked about that in the past, like the AI content. I don't know much about Love Fruit Island and Chocolatina. I have to look that up. You can send me the information at askchrissy@gmail.com, and maybe we'll talk about it in another live stream, because I haven't heard anything about any of that. But speaking of AI though, I have seen, like I said, I've talked about the AI black woman content. Like, we've already kind of covered that. I think that's a mess. I've actually seen that die down, but now they're starting to be colorist in this like AI fruit content. Have y'all seen that? I saw one where it was like basically like the darker fruit is always like the most promiscuous, or it's just crazy. Like, I have to do another video on that and talk about it, because I saw some of that shit and I was like, what's going on? Like, what is going on? Like, it's just crazy. It's like, I guess, and then they'll do it, if it's not fruit, it's like foods. And so like the chocolate fruit is meant to be like black people or black women. That shit is weird as fuck, y'all. I gotta like compile some videos, so either I'll do it in the video or come back on live and talk about it. The shit is crazy. Okay, who is Chocolatina, y'all? What does she do? Like, on TikTok, what does she do? Blame It on Mercury says, I'm doing a spa night right now. Does anyone have any good skin toner for dark spots / hyperpigmentation? Sorry to be off topic. I'm just desperate for a good one, y'all. Let me know, please. Yeah, I don't know about that. I heard Ambi has good hyperpigmentation stuff, because one of my friends, she uses that for her dark spots. I'm trying to think of something else I heard of not too long ago. Dang, I don't remember. But yeah, if anybody has any recommendations, put it in the chat. Somebody said Paula's Choice, licorice root. Never heard of that. That's interesting. Witch hazel for toner. Yeah, I haven't heard of Chocolatina. Selena says vitamin C, papaya fruit, and turmeric. Y'all put me on, honey. I didn't know about none of this stuff. Okay, I'm trying to scroll up so I can see. Oh, okay. Think Noodle says Chrissy Chocolatina is an AI chocolate bar who is messing with a strawberry. Oh my God. Oh, what is going on? Do we know who's behind it? Like, who's behind the AI character? Is it a black person, or do we know? Yeah, that's what I said. I can't recommend an acid because the last time I got a facial, I don't know what acid she used, but I feel like it really evened my skin tone out. I have to ask her and then I'll get back to y'all. I probably should know what she's putting on my face, but I don't. Yeah, the AI is getting out of control in that regard. Like, I felt like at first it was like a bunch of like ghetto AI, like the black woman ghetto stereotypical AI. That kind of fell off a little bit. I still see it sometimes, but not as much. And now it's moved to like foods. Like it's foods, but you know who is supposed to be like the black person or the black woman. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's like they cannot stop. But yeah, when you guys see that stuff, send it to askchrissy@gmail.com. Because that's how I learned about the fruit stuff. And so I said I was going to come back and talk about that, but I just want to get more videos so we can kind of analyze it a little bit. Because it's very stereotypical, like the way they're doing it. And you can miss it if you're not like tapped in. Yes, they be having BBLs and everything. Yes, I saw that. It'll be like, I don't know, like the one I saw, I think it was like supposed to be ice cream, like chocolate ice cream, and she had a BBL. I was like, what the fuck is this? This shit is crazy. And like whoever the other food character was, basically the chocolate ice cream was the side chick girl. She was the side chick. It was a mess. I was like, what is this? Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy what they're doing. It's like motherfuckers just cannot help but to be racist and colorist. And you know, I don't know if I can even blame that on black people because you don't know who's behind the stuff. It could be a white person. You know, it could be a black person, it could be a white person. You don't know who it is. Yeah, this shit is crazy. It's not just on TikTok because the links that were sent to me, some of them were Instagram, and they have like millions of views on Instagram. It's crazy. It's insane. And then it'll be like whatever the lighter colored fruit is will like have sex with the darker fruit, and then they'll have babies together. I've just got to show y'all when I get all the compilations together. It's crazy. When I get all the videos together, I'm gonna put together a compilation for y'all. Hi Chrissy, curious to know your thoughts on the Essence Festival headliners, Kehlani, Cardi, and Lotto. At this point, it's like some black women are totally fine. Oh, girl. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of when it comes to like Essence Fest and a lot of these magazines, these black, and is Essence still even black owned? I don't know, but they're ran by some older black people, like whether it be like older millennials or Gen Z, and they're just really not tapped in. And so like they're too far gone. Like they're too far gone to even fix anything. So like I just wouldn't even like worry about supporting them or anything. They're still gonna, you know, be colorist. They're still gonna usher in these light-skinned mixed race women to replace us. They don't give a fuck. Like I don't expect like these older corporations, whether it be Essence Magazine, Ebony, I can't think of any of the other ones. I don't expect them to get it right ever. Like they're just too far gone. Yeah, so just don't support them. Girl, they still be like, if you go to their Instagram pages and stuff, they still be posting black men thirst traps and shit. They still be like man stroking black men and stuff. So, girl, they're just purposely like they're out of the loop, and they intentionally try to be like going against what all the girls are saying in these more modern black female centric spaces. Like they deliberately try to go against everything we say at this point. Like I believe that to be true. Because you can't tell me they don't have a marketing department that talks about the trends. They know about the trends. They know what we're talking about in spaces like mine. They don't give a fuck though, because they're still focused on trying to push Black love to Black women. Yeah, it's intentional propaganda. That's exactly my point. That's exactly what it is. So they're not trying to get at anything right. So I'm not surprised that those are the headliners. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about is Olandria. Dang, it's already 2 hours. Damn, y'all be having me on here just talking. I really be saying to myself before I get on live, I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna stay on for 1 hour, girl. I can never stay on for an hour. I'm gonna try to do that one day. Okay, where is this video? Did I put it on here? Okay, first of all, let's show this one because I just think this is just perfect corrective promotion. I just wanted to show that because Olandria looked absolutely beautiful for the Oscars. And so they're mad at Olandria again. Let me find this screenshot. Here it is. And see, at this point, I just feel like so many people are deliberately trying to sabotage Olandria because they're so jealous when unambiguous dark-skinned women get corrective promotion and when we get global validation. And this is something I'm going to flesh out in another video because I think that's at the heart of all the Olandria hate. But if you see the title of this, it's like they're trying to run once again with the angry Black woman trope when it comes to Olandria. And it says Olandria goes off on her fans for scolding her stylist about begging for a Met Gala invite. And so apparently, like, I guess her stylist tweeted or was on X or on Facebook or something asking for the Met Gala to respond to him or to reach out to him, whatever. And Olandria's following, which I don't even know if it's her fans, I don't know if it's her haters or whatever, but they were like, oh, this looks desperate because you're making it seem like Olandria is begging to get invited when that had nothing to do with Olandria. The tweet had absolutely nothing to do with Olandria. He was reaching out to the Met Gala on his own, didn't mention Olandria at all. So again, they're trying to paint this narrative about Olandria, saying that, oh, she's not being genuinely invited to these places. Her team is begging people. They're paying people. They're still trying to run with that narrative because they cannot fathom Olandria being invited to all of these luxury events, all of these, A-list celebrity events, all of these functions. They can't fathom that she's just naturally being invited. She's genuinely being invited. So they're still trying to push the narrative that she's paying people to get where she's at. Yeah, it's just pathetic. It's ridiculous. And so now they're trying to paint her out to be the angry Black woman. And I pulled this video and I want to know from you guys, like, do you think she came off as being angry, or do you think she went off to the point to where, it makes her look like extremely upset? I just want to know if I'm tripping or not, or if I'm being biased. I don't know. Did I put the video on here? Yeah.
And before I sit here and group y'all all together, I know it's just a few, and I know which few it is. I don't care if you don't agree with it, if you don't like it, don't you ever fix your fingers to say something disrespectful to somebody on my team. You will see a whole nother side of me. I do not take disrespect lightly at all. Now, I was going to go on a blocking spree, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just tell them this. Because if you ever fix your fingers to do that again, you'll be blocked. And I mean it. And I will get your page gone. Don't you ever in your life disrespect anybody on my team. I don't care if you do agree with the tweet, and the tweet didn't have nothing to do with me. Everyone on my team is so sweet, so nice. We give you the shirt off their back. And for y'all to ever feel like y'all can come on there and disrespect anybody on my team, I will show you something. I'm not kidding. Supporter or not, learn your place. That is not your place. I won't even talk to Matthew like that. Ever. And I've had moments that I've disagreed with him or whatever, but I've never in my entire life talked to someone like that. Learn your place before I put you in it. And I swear you're not going to like me after that. Do better, guys. And I'm not saying everybody, but just those few. I'm going to give you a chance to correct yourself. Because it better not happen again. And I mean it. Next thing.
Girl, that was one of the softest reads. Like, she was not, I expected to see her cursing and going off, because that is the way this is labeled on this Reddit. And somebody says that this thread on Reddit, they be hating on her all the time. See, I didn't know that. I wasn't familiar. So it seems like they're regularly trying to like sabotage Olandria, and they regularly create like these little smear campaigns against her. Is that what I'm gathering? Because like, to me, this was such a reach, and I see Black women kind of trying to run with it, and they're using this video to insult her. Like, oh, y'all made this ugly girl famous. Like, it's just the comments I saw towards this is just ridiculous. I was like, oh my God, like really all of that? Y'all are obsessed with Olandria. Y'all are weird. I have never seen this amount of obsession in a very long time. Like, it's been a very long time since I've seen some people this obsessed with trying to bring a Black woman down. And I just have to assume that it's because she challenges the status quo that much to where people are just afraid of her. They're so afraid of her taking over. And it's crazy. Blame It on Mercury says, you literally don't have to do anything except be a Black woman and be beautiful, then it's a problem. Yes. An unambiguous dark-skinned Black woman. Let's take that where it needs to be. Let's correct that. Like, because I mean, the amount of hate that Olandria gets is abnormal. It's abnormal. It's not normal, y'all. It's not. And just every time I see stuff like this, it just makes me think about the jealousy that some people have of dark-skinned women and getting global promotion and validation, and how they want to ruin that. And they try to shame us out of like, not shame us, but try to force us to stop supporting women who are getting that, and stop supporting and identifying with women like her. Oh, see, I wasn't familiar with this Reddit page. I had no idea. But yeah, this was emailed to me. I didn't know about this page. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this up again and just kind of talk about it again, because like the fact, when did Love Island end? When did the season that Olandria was on, was it season 7? When did it end? And we're still going on and on about Olandria, and people are still mad that she's in the spotlight. Like, it's been too long at this point. Oh. I Come in Peace says, in the name you see an underscore. It's not the official subreddit. In this sub, all they talk about is Olandria and Nick. They hate them, and some of the users in that sub got exposed, and a lot of them were non-Black. Oh, wow. See, y'all are putting me on. I didn't know. So a lot of these are non-Black women. Oh, my God. The jealousy is real. Do you see what happens when unambiguous dark-skinned women threaten the status quo? Do you see what happens? I keep telling y'all, they can't take it. They cannot take it. And I mean, this is one Black, I keep having to emphasize that every time I talk about Olandria. This is one unambiguous dark-skinned woman, and they're going this crazy. They're going this nuts over her. Imagine if it was more. they would probably be trying to unalive us. This is crazy. And I hope that that does not happen to anybody. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that they're having meltdowns like this is just crazy. It's crazy. Oh, they're very jealous and envious. And that's why I always tell y'all, like, if you think that nobody can be jealous of unambiguous dark-skinned Black women, you are sadly mistaken. And it's because not only is she being acknowledged, you know, but she's being acknowledged on a global scale. And I don't think y'all understand how much that matters, right? It's one thing for Black women and especially unambiguous dark-skinned women to be acknowledged like within the Black community. But when she starts getting global validation and global promotion, then that's when she really becomes a threat to the status quo. Because I don't know, Olandria appeals to multiple people. Even though she has a lot of haters of different demographics, she also has a lot of people who love her of various demographics. And that gives her a lot of power. People are very intimidated by that. And this is why I say this is very, very good. Olandria is just excellent for corrective promotion. And this is why even people on YouTube try to stop her, you know, they try to sabotage her, try to stop us from identifying with her or using her as corrective promotion because they know how powerful that is. And there's this one guy, I had to block him, like, because I didn't realize at first, but he was making all these weird comments. And I know he was Black because I traced his page and I searched him on other platforms. And this was a Black man making hundreds of comments about Olandria on my page. And one of the last ones, he was like, oh, y'all just like her because she's appealing to white men or something. He said it was about white men. And that's why another reason why Black men really don't like Olandria and they don't like Black women identifying with Olandria because she's with Nick. But what people don't understand is that most Black women don't even care about Nick like that. I'm not, okay, the Nicolandrians, they care about Nick, right? The Nicolandrians love Nick, right? But most of us who love Olandria, we love Olandria. You know what I mean? Like, it's just her for the most part. Yeah, her and Nick are cute. They're good for the optics or whatever, but we can take or leave Nick. You know what I mean? We really can. Yeah, Nick is hot. Yeah, he's attractive too, right? I get it, right? He's good for the optics, but we can take or leave him. And the thing about it is this, right? What I'm learning is that, and what I've always knew, but really has become clearer to me as Olandria has gotten more popular, is that Black men especially want to be the only ones with global promotion and validation. They don't want Black women to have that. And they especially don't want dark-skinned Black women to have that because they fear that we'll be more attractive to non-Black men, right? And so the way they try to do it is like they try to shame us for accepting global promotion or any type of global validation that we're getting from white society. But when you look at Black men, notice Black men will brag about being desirable to non-Black women and specifically white women due to their hyper-masculine promotion in white male-owned media. Black men will brag about that. But then they'll tell Black women that we're wrong for wanting promotion in that same media, or that we quote unquote want validation from white men. Okay, well, who do y'all want validation from when you celebrate your media promotion that you have with white women and non-Black women? Because think about it, Black men, for the most part, they get way more global validation and promotion than Black women. And they know that it contributes to their desirability among non-Black women. So why would they want that for Black women? They want to be the only ones to have access to Black women. right? The truth is that they want validation from all races of women via their media promotion, but they don't want Black women, and especially dark-skinned women, to have the same thing. That's why they hate my concept of corrective promotion. They don't want Black women getting any kind of promotion that could possibly make us as desirable as they are to non-Black people, right? So it's a sexual competition thing on their part. It's sexual competition on their part. And I think that's something that Black women need to be mindful of, so you can recognize why some of them want to sabotage our corrective promotion. Whether it be Black men, non-Black women, it's sexual competition. That's really what it boils down to. Because they're like, oh, wait, if Olandria can do this, then other Black women who look like her are going to think they can do that. We don't want that. Goddess Infinity says, did you see the white woman copying the Black model Tatiana Elizabeth old photo at the U.S. opening tennis match? No, I didn't see that. Send it to me at askchrissy@gmail.com. Oh, yeah. Black men are always competing with us. And that guy I had to block, he was like, oh, you wouldn't be celebrating Olandria if she was with a Black man. And he said Black women wouldn't be celebrating Olandria if she was with a Black man. And personally, I think that Black women would, because Black women were celebrating Shelly and Ace. Like, think about it. Black women were celebrating Shelly and Ace. Who wasn't on the season before Olandria? Cordell and what's the girl's name? Cordell, and what's his girlfriend's name? But Black women were celebrating them, and that's a Black couple. Yeah, Serena and Cordell. Yeah, and they literally won the show. And so, like, again, like, this is one Black woman with a white man. Get over it. Like, this just shows you how insecure and fragile they are. But yeah, regardless of, Black women celebrating Black love couples, Black women don't have to celebrate only Black love promotion. Not while Black men are celebrating and accepting their promotional variety. And that's what y'all don't understand about my channel. Like, I am not going to just have Black women. I'm not going to just celebrate Black love promotion because nobody else is doing that. Nobody else is doing that, including them. Where are all these Black men celebrating the promotion of Black love? But they want us to do it on our platforms. Do you notice that? Like, they want us to do something that they don't even do. The answer is no. We get to celebrate and enjoy our interracial dating promotion just like Black men and everyone else who enjoys theirs. We're not obligated to be pro-Black with our promotion while Black men are out here tasting the promotional rainbow. Like, that's not how this is going to work. And it's not self-hating to accept a variety of desirability promotion. Every other group accepts their romantic promotion with other races of people. And so Black women can too. And see, y'all remember when I first came on, I was heavy on that pro-Black stuff because I thought that Black men were with us when it came to that. I'm like, I'm only going to promote Black love because that's what it's all about. And then the girlies had to wake me up and I was like, oh, wait. Black men aren't doing that. They're not only celebrating their Black love, they're celebrating all of their promotion that they get from everywhere, no matter what race of woman it's with. And if they're not celebrating it, they accept it. They welcome it, right? They support it and they love it. They love the way it helps their desirability, their perceived desirability. And so, like, why wouldn't Black women do the same thing? And so I say all that to say, like, if that is the reason you like Olandria, that's okay. That's okay. And look, there's a caveat to that, okay? Obviously, when it comes to Olandria and Nick, like I say all the time, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't fall for the fairy tale. Like, Nick is still a man, okay? But it is okay to like the optics of that. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to see a Black woman promoted with a non-Black man and like to see that as a Black woman. Why is that okay? Because everybody else likes to see themselves promoted with a variety of people, including Black men. And that is why they will never be able to shame me when it comes to that. Oh, y'all just want global promotion. Y'all just want global validation. Yeah, just like Black men. That's what y'all want too. Y'all want that too. And mixed women want that too. White women want that too. And so what? So that's why you will never make me feel bad about that. Melinda says, do you think she would be just as successful if she was not with a white man? If she left the villa doing the same things that she's doing now and aligning herself with the right team that gets her the right opportunities, absolutely. She would be just as successful. Because notice, her most viral pictures and videos are without Nick. She does not need Nick to be successful. She does not need Nick, okay? I think that helps, but she doesn't need him, no. And my thing is this, like, everybody else uses non-Black people to level up. So, like, even if Olandria is more successful because of Nick, so the fuck what? So what? Kanye West got a little help from Kim Kardashian with his image. I mean, think about how many Black men became more successful or got in certain rooms that they would never get into because of their proximity to white women or white men. Black men are the biggest bedwenches in the community. They use white people all the time to level up. And so how dare they, of anybody, try to come to Black women and be like, you can't do that. That's all y'all do. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, Kim got help from Kanye too, but it was mutually beneficial, you guys. Is my point here. It was mutually beneficial for them. Yeah, and obviously Kim K got her start from a Black man. I mean, it was Ray J's fault that, she became so popular. But even if you want to, maybe that wasn't the best example, but even if you want to take white women out of it, like, Black men use white men specifically to level up all the time. So they're the last people that should be saying anything about Black women leveling up from white men. Like, they're the last people that can say anything about that. I'm sorry. Girl, white men and Black men are in this shit together, okay? Please. Like, come on now. Girl, the biggest bedwenches. Blame It on Mercury says, Chrissy, have you ever done or will you ever do panels? I think that'd be super interesting to hear us riff off one another and share perspectives. Yeah, I've done that in the past. I keep flirting with the idea of bringing that back. I don't know. I might bring back the panels and the call-ins. I don't know. Yeah, and I mean, they team up with white men in the entertainment industry, the music industry. So, girl, they use each other to level up all the time. And then when I say that Black men specifically use white women to help their image, they use white women to help their image with other men. with white men and with in the black community with other black men, right? Because if a black man is seen with a non-black woman on his arm, or any woman that's close to being white, they've made it. You know what I mean? It's like they've made it, like that's their status symbol, right? Exactly. He says, why do you think they call it level up? Because people can take you to another level. Clock the T, ladies, jump in the game. Yeah, so if you so choose to use a white man or a non-black man to level up, you have that right. Everybody else does it. So why feel bad about that? I don't. And any black man who says something like, they have no room to talk. They have no legs to stand on when it comes to that. Do we have to go back to this? I mean, we had an example in this live stream. I mean, and not to say that she necessarily is going to level him up per se, but that's his little status symbol. Why do you think he took her to the Knicks game? It don't matter if she a corn star. That's still his status symbol because she's white. But y'all mad that Olandria used Nick to level up? I mean, stop, please. Stop playing these games. Stop. If black men can walk around here with white corn stars to show that they got it like that to other black men, to the black community, then Olandria can use Nick in whichever way that she chooses to level up. And any other black woman can use white men to level up if they want to, if they so choose. BLD says, black men keep Selena Powell in business. They sure do. And still, it don't matter how much she run her mouth, them niggas still run back to her. That head game must be fire. She must know how to suck dick really well for them to keep running back to that woman, and she's still running her mouth like that. She must be swallowing the dick. She must be licking ass, balls. She must be sucking them niggas' dick from the back or something. Like, she must be doing something right, okay, for these niggas to keep running back like they doing. And she be telling on all of them. That's why, don't get it twisted. I ain't mad at none of these girls. I ain't mad at Selena. I ain't mad at Sky. Get your money. Get your money on from these dumbass niggas. Get it. I'm sorry. I just went Chrissy after dark on y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all know my mouth. My mouth is dirty and whorish. I have a dirty, whorish mouth. I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on that because my mama be listening to my. That's why I told my mama, you gotta stop listening to my stuff, girl. Cause I just like, it's too much. I be trying to control my language. I need to stop cursing and doing that anyway, because it be fucking up my money too. Like, they don't pay you as much if you got all the curse words in the video. At least that's what they say. I don't know. But y'all know I'm very vulgar and I can't help it sometimes. It just flows out sometimes. But my point is, girl, these girls is doing something strange for a little piece of change, okay? But yeah, they flaunt these women. They use these women. They use the image of these women, the status that these women have for simply being white, and then want to be turning around and tell black women that they can't do the same thing. No, absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. Blame It on Mercury says, why he looks shamed around her though? He don't look ashamed to me. He brought her to the game. This was purposely done, y'all. This wasn't Druski, as much thought as he puts into like what he puts out in the world. You think he didn't think about this? He did this intentionally. He wanted everybody to see it. He wanted everybody to see he had access to this corn star. He wanted that. He wanted the other men to know that he's getting his balls sucked or whatever from this girl. He wanted everybody to know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he ain't ashamed about this girl. He is not ashamed. Nia says, because they see it as competition and know that white men are more powerful and impressive. Yeah. And this is another way they try to get that proximity to power through the white man's woman, through white women. Some of them do it to either get closer to white men, or some of them do it to piss white men off because they say, "Oh, I can get your woman." Y'all said she looked like Jeffree Star. I'm done. That's crazy. Yeah, so they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And a lot of these, we already talked about that. We already talked about how the smart white girls, they're moving away from black men. The smart black women are too, low key, but they making announcements on TikTok and everything. This is why I don't date black men. So, as we move towards conservatism, the political, everything is following the political path that we're going in this country. You know what I mean? And so people are kind of reverting back to tribalism. I'm not saying everybody is, but a lot of people are. And so white women are, and I told y'all in that video I did, like, a lot of black women, a lot of white women especially, are listening to what black women are saying about black men, how we're, talking more about hypergamy and leveling up. And so the smart white women, the smart non-black women, they're listening to those conversations and they're like, oh, well, shit, why the fuck would I fuck with a black man now? The black women are moving on, so I don't have anybody to feel superior to anymore. Or the smart black women are leaving, so if they're leaving, then why would I be with a black man? It's not making sense. So the smart non-black women or smart white women who were ever even considering dealing with a black man, they're like, shit, I'm gonna go back home. And not to mention, I think a lot of them are doing that too because just their experience, like, some of it don't even have nothing to do with us at all. Like, it's just like they're finding out that a lot of black men ain't shit, so they're leaving and they're going back home, if they can even go back home, child. So that's why I said, if in 2026, if it still triggers you to see a black man with a white woman, I don't know why. Because look at what they're getting. Like, for the most part, look at what these non-black women are getting, and look at what the black men are getting too. Like, it's just not. It's nothing to be envious about. And most of the time, they're treating those non-black women and white women just as horribly as they're treating black women. Yep, cleaning out the trash for us. Yep. And so a lot of times, some of, like, in recent times, a lot of these non-black women, especially white women, you heard what that girl said on the video. At the end of her whole spiel that she gave about why she's no longer dating black men, at the end of it, she said, why do you think black women are dating white men now? So they're paying attention to what we're saying, what we're doing, who we're dating, where we're going. They pay attention to that. And a lot of their decisions, a lot of how they feel about themselves, a lot of their superiority complex comes from feeling like black men want them more than us, and us being upset about it. If we're no longer upset by that, they have nowhere to go. They have no reason to feel better anymore. Yeah, and they follow what we do. Black women are some of the most, if not the most copied women on the planet. Like everybody copies us. We're the trendsetters. So of course, if a lot of us are talking about hypergamy and dating out, dating not, of course everybody wants to do it. Of course. It's not to say that, I think most non-Black women were already dating their men, okay? I'm not saying that they weren't, but the ones who even thought about like trying to date Black men or, trying to be in our spaces to make us jealous or whatever, they're rerouting, okay? They're rethinking their decisions because of these conversations, and you can't tell me no different. Yeah, and that single motherhood, I'm telling y'all. Then and it's like you might as well, if you was gonna come over to the Black community just to become a single mother, you might as well should have stayed with your own men. You know what I'm saying? Because they have single mothers in their community too, obviously. But on average, you was probably gonna get a better deal being a single mother with a white man, not a Black man, dummy. And the one girl in the video, she said her father told her, your own daddy, girl, why didn't you listen to your daddy? Like, just dumb. Her own daddy told her to stop fucking with Black men, and her dumb ass didn't listen. Now she's stuck with however many little beige children, and she don't even know what to do with herself. It's ridiculous. Blame It on Mercury says they feel seen and more valuable, but they're not. Yep. That is such a good point. Pink Lady says they also saw what more famous non-Black women go through. Kim K, Kylie are cautionary tales now. Yep. And oh God, I said that a long time ago. Could you imagine Kanye West being your baby daddy? Oh, girl, I know Kim be going through it. It ain't enough money in the world to make that bearable. Girl, I'm so sorry. And I know Kim be probably looking around sometimes like, what the fuck did I get myself into? She can't even control her own daughter. North be bossing her around. She's scared of North. She already said she was scared of her. So she don't know what to do with herself. It's just, I could imagine. Oh, I agree. They're not victims. They signed up for all that shit. Should have chose better. Just like they tell Black women, should have chose better. I don't know what to tell y'all. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, Chloe too. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine having those type of men as the fathers of my children. Like, I would just be depressed. I don't see how the girls do it. I don't see how they just be having babies with these men. Yeah, she said she's on record saying she's scared of North. Oh my goodness. Oh, y'all already sending me emails. That's what's up. Okay. Well, I'm going to look at these new emails. I'm going to get off here. It's been 2 hours and 38 minutes, which is crazy. Crazy. But this was fun. If you have any topic requests, you can email them to me at askchrissy@gmail.com. Make sure you join Neptunians if you want to become a member and listen to my exclusive content. The links are in the description. And yeah, thank you for listening. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining and hanging with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Love you.